We're here at John Street and Western Road where a stabbing just took place. Now, one individual has been taken to hospital in serious and life-threatening injuries. Now, police say the incident happened at 12:15 and two other suspects were seen in the area. It's not yet clear if they were involved themselves in the stabbing. Now, this whole plaza has been taped off, and if you go just one block down this way, you see John Street, which has been blocked off. Police are investigating the incident. No updates as to whether the individual is a male or a female, or whether the suspects were connected to this case whatsoever. Police say they will update us as soon as they get that information, and we will update you in our show at 6 p.m. I'm Nizi Nondo for Global News. I'm outside Scotiabank Arena, Jurassic Park. Fans have been coming to share their stories, to share the experience about last night's game. It's almost been 24 hours since the Raptors made history and won the Eastern Conference Final. Now we're going on Thursday to play against the Warriors in the NBA Final. This is the first time since the Raptors started the whole franchise. It's been 24 years since we've gone to the finals, and you know what? I might not have a Raptors hat with me right now, but I do have the second best thing, the New York Knicks. I'm gonna put it on as good luck for our game on Thursday because I know we will win. We do have the best player in the world, Kawhi Leonard, and we do have arguably the best point guard in the world, Kyle Lowry, and his clutch performance last night. The general theme over here is that people know the virus is around. They know that more than 500,000 people have died from COVID-19, but they just don't quite understand how the virus spreads and the risks of not following COVID-19 guidelines. So why fear what you don't understand? It's Zenondo, Diamond TV, Lusaka. There are over 1,000 people here who share the same sentiment as Vanderpool. They don't want to see any increase in class sizes whatsoever, whether it be from 4th to 8th grade or from 9th to 12th. Any increase, they say, will just hinder children's development. But the minister says her plan is right for the province and will make the province more competitive in its education system. Zambia is a challenging place to live in. Poverty is high, income inequality is one of the worst in the world, and according to the Southern Africa Federation for the Disabled, life here is especially difficult if you have a disability. The government says the objective is to make Ontario's education system more effective and efficient. But the previous Deputy Minister of Education disagrees with that notion.
And the Prisoner Reintegration and Empowerment Executive Director, Derek Malumo, has appealed to President Edgar Lungu to consider releasing inmates convicted of petty crimes. Mr. Malumo says this will create more space in the country's correctional facilities and prevent cases of COVID-19. Nizi Nondo has more in this report.
So, when you...
Derek Malumo is an executive director of a prisoner reintegration organization.
The organization was founded in 2014.
He's also a former inmate turned activist.
It is from my personal experience that I came up with this organization, because I was in one of Zambia's most crowded facilities, correctional facilities. That is the Lusaka Central Prison by then. Now it is Lusaka Central Correctional Facility.
Now Malumo is fighting for the release of inmates charged with petty crimes.
Stealing a chicken from a neighbor, should one go to prison? If someone is, slaps you, you can forgive. Ensuring that I initiate.
The goal is to reduce overcrowding in Zambia's prisons, which in turn, he says, will reduce risks of COVID-19 from breaking out in jail cells.
Inmates are also worried to say, what if coronavirus went into the correctional facility?
But the Minister of Home Affairs says the government is already working on it.
We have restricted visitations to the correctional facility as number one, because as we all know, the virus is moved by people. So it can only get into our facilities by people that get to visit these facilities.
In the meantime, Maloma and 3 other organizations are pushing the matter themselves to the president. They want inmates released by at least May 25th. Nizi Nondo, ZNBC, Lusaka. These right here are not your ordinary soldiers. These are troops heading off to Central Africa for peacekeeping. And among those leaving is Mark Lupambo.
It's important to keep the peace because peace is what builds the nations. Without peace, the nations, they are crumbled, the nations fall off.
The deployment is part of Zambia's commitment to the UN to stop civil strife wherever it's found.
My troops and I have trained adequately and are prepared adequately by the Peace Mission Training Center.
And Lupambo is ready.
I've been trained to have a robust stance. I've been trained to be a robust soldier and to defend and promote peace.
Come Saturday, 175 out of 521 of these soldiers will leave Zambian soil for at least 12 months. And the rest will join them later.
The message I have for my family and friends is that they shouldn't worry because we'll be back. The same way we are going, that's the same way we will come.
Nizanondo, Diamond TV, Mikango Barracks. With all that's going on with the coronavirus, the Minister of Health is calling on all business owners to take social distancing and cleanliness seriously. Those who fail to follow government guidelines could, by law, be forced to close.
We are deeply concerned with the state of certain public places, such as markets and other trading places, where waste management, sanitation and hygiene measures are inadequate.
That includes street vendors.
This is where now there must be a realization among our people that trading anyhow can actually be a danger to ourselves.
Local government minister Dr. Charles Banda has also stressed that vendors will not be moved.
As we are saying, let's do hand washing, let's sanitize, let's disinfect the areas where people are meeting.
It's a message that vendors like her have already taken to heart.
na mabaketi ya manzi tinafa akapolo na wanika shingako na kuirako kandrama niendo samba kwa kumanja kujana kasopo.
The government's goal is to prevent more cases of COVID-19 from breaking out and prevent any more deaths. Nizanondo, ZNBC, Lusaka.
We're no fools. We won't let you ruin our schools.
Rodora Vanderpoort is just one of 30,000 teachers and parents taking part in a protest against the PC's education plan.
I'm here today in solidarity with all the teachers across Ontario to make sure that Doug Ford, the government, and Lisa Thompson, our Minister of Education, know that these cuts are directly going to be affecting our students.
We've been talking about it for years and years and years.
But the government says it's all fear-mongering by teachers who have failed Ontario's children.
I have yet to hear the teachers union come up with a solution why half our students are failing math.
Now, if the plan goes through, Ontarians might see programs like Sex Aid become optional, a cell phone ban in classes, and a math test for new teachers. But for Rodora, it's the government's plan on class sizes that worries her the most.
There are classes right now at 32 students. You could see an increase up to as much as 40 students per class, and that really terrifies me.
That's Dolika Manchishi. She's 74 years old, the guardian to these two orphans, and she's what many would describe as an extremely impoverished person. On a good day, Manchishi makes between 4 to 5 kwacha collecting empty bottles like these and sells them to a local recycling company about an hour walk away. That's less than $1, 27 cents to be exact.
Nikareta nagura mutungiyo nagura napimisago tuunga napika wana wanga vadia.
But approximately 3 months ago, the recycling company closed, and Manchishi has not been able to make any money for rent or even food.
Tandizeni naputika ine na wana wa masi kulibe wamena ntandiza iyai olwo bapudulu banga nilibe tunkhala na njala na bana.
Now, there is a government program that helps vulnerable citizens like Manchishi. It's called the Social Cash Transfer. Manchishi said she applied about a year ago, but has never received even 1 kwacha. But the Ministry of Community Development says Manchishi's issue is more about timing than qualification.
Last year, we were not doing any identification. So she applied last year is because 2019 we were not doing any enumeration. We did the enumeration in 2017, somewhere there. So those who did enumeration are the ones that we target after people have gone through the process. So for her, the reason is simple. She applied at a time when we are not including people on the social cash transfer program.
So for Manchishi to somewhat alleviate herself from her current financial situation, Mr. Mumba suggests she applies for different programs under the ministry.
She needs to go to community development and find out if she can qualify under Supporting Women Livelihood Project. Supporting Women Livelihood Project is where we give an empowerment grant to the women to sustain themselves, and it's doing fine.
Nizanondo, Diamond TV, Lusaka.